the love of divorce. About my situation. My wife and I married when we were 21. We were in love and wanted to settle down and have a family. We have 2 young children. We had a pretty good relationship for the first 6 years. We had our share of problems. One thing we had problems with was communication. My wife is the kind of person who keeps anger and frustration inside and doesn't deal with it. The last 2 years have been a struggle. The first year we really didn't do anything to try to fix our problems. We lived our lives and were afraid to tell each other how we felt. Then almost exactly 1 year ago today she told me she needed a break. She told me she needed time and space to figure out who she was before she could work on our relationship. She told me it was no big deal and a lot of couples take a break and move on from there. She told me, "I love you but I'm not in love with you." I was, and still am, against a separation. I practically begged her to stay and work things out. She agreed. I tried to talk to her about things but she still wasn't able to open up to me. I wrote countless letters to her thinking maybe it would be easier for her to start writing back and forth. Still, she was only telling me she needed to fix herself first. 2 days before this last Christmas I got a phone call for a friend telling me that my wife had been talking to an old friend of his and they were planning on meeting up sometime. I was so angry I went home and confronted her about it. She swore that they had just talked and nothing had happened. She said she was sorry for hurting me and promised not to talk to him again. She said she was lost. I was very angry and upset, but in the end, I told her I was willing to move on from this if she would stop talking to him and start working on us. She agreed. The day after I installed the KL on our PC, she had been very secretive about going on Facebook. 3 days later I found an explicit Facebook chat they had while I was at work. I was furious. I confronted her and told her I would not tolerate that type of behavior. I didn't throw her out, but a part of me wanted to. She said she still wanted to leave but didn't because she knew how much it would hurt me. I asked her at that point to go see AMC. She agreed and we've been doing that once a week for a month now. Things seem to be getting better on the surface. Our MC has us doing 15-minute communication every day to work on communication, to help understand what each other wants and needs. She is starting to open up, which makes me think there is hope for us. Last night during our chat she was finally able to tell me the root of her problems. She said that a part of her wants to leave and date again and she won't commit to me while she has these feelings. Since we were married young, she thinks she has missed out on a big part of her life. It really upsets me she is willing to break apart our family and leave me and the kids so she can go mess around with other guys. The part that bothers me the most is she has been unwilling to try to fix our relationship first. I'm trying my hardest to keep it together. Her leaving would be devastating to the kids, and me for that fact. I don't know where to go from here. I do know that I am unwilling to keep going if she won't commit to trying her hardest to fix our marriage. Sorry for the long post. Just needed to vent. I guess I do have nice guy syndrome. I don't know how to act differently. She has been my best friend for so many years. I understand I can't control my wife. I honestly feel like we can be happy again if we work on things. That's what's been bothering the most. She's ready to leave before we have had the opportunity to give us a chance. In my mind our family is at least worth a chance. We go to see the MC tonight and I'm sure the main topic will be her not being able to move forward with wanting to see what else is out there first. She mentioned she wanted to talk about it with her. I started to do the 180 a few days ago. I stopped telling her I loved her. I am also making an extra effort to be happy and confident around her and the kids. I am trying my hardest to convince myself things will be okay without her. It's been the hardest part. I've been contemplating getting my own checking and savings account for a while now. I don't agree with how she has been handling our finances. It's my fault for letting her continue to do them. I was concerned that doing that would make her think I was starting to give up. The whole situation is really strange to me. We don't fight a lot. We talk about daily stuff as normal. We laugh and joke a lot. Everything on the surface seems so normal. That makes it even harder for me. Telling the kids is really not an option. The one is too young to understand and the older one has a bunch of emotional problems to begin with. The OM is a different story. I had an opportunity to end his career. I did not do it. Just a quick update. Had our MC meeting last night and there was good and bad. She told me again that she is hesitant to move forward because a part of her wants to know what it's like to be on her own. I'm not completely sure she has thought about what that's meant. She doesn't make enough money to have her own place so she says she would move back with her parents. She said a part of her doesn't want to do that because it will hurt the kids. We did a lot of talking about what got us to this point. She was unhappy that I was unwilling, at the time, to do certain things like go to some family functions and the like. I thought I was too busy and had more important things to do at the time. That really upset her and made her shut down. The thing that absolutely floored me was the way she has viewed the past 3 years of our life. She is only focusing on the few bad parts. In her mind there was no good, which I believe to be absolutely false. She actually told the MC that our second child was unplanned. She was on fertility meds and we had slept together that particular night because she was ovulating. How the F is that unplanned? Maybe unexpected because we did have problems getting pregnant. But unplanned. What the hell? I called her on that and she didn't have anything to say. She swears there was no other man at that point. Instead of talking to me about the issues at hand, she shut down and distanced herself. I am so angry. She is lying to herself about what really took place in our relationship. I'm in no way trying to say I wasn't a jerk at times, because I was. It really upsets me she doesn't see any good in the last 3 years. I saw her have fun and be happy with my own eyes. On the EA front, she told me it was going on for 1 month before I found out. She swears it's over with and she's sorry for hurting me. I don't know if I believe her, but that's what she said. I guess all I can do is prepare myself for a possible divorce. I still don't want that at this point, but I don't know if she's ever going to be willing to put effort into us again. We are going to continue to do our 15-minute talks and try to get everything off our respective chests. Our MC thinks we should wait 2 weeks and then come back. She thinks for right now we should just take things 1 week at a time. I'll stop there for now. This post is long enough. The way she has talked about separation in the past leads me to believe this is what she wants. She says it no big deal and lots of couples take a break and get back together afterward. That might be true for other couples in different situations. She has always talked about separation and getting back together in the same sentence. I've made up my mind. If she chooses to separate, a divorce will follow, especially since the reason she wants to take a break is to be on her own and to know what it feels like to be single. I'm unsure if I should tell her right now. I'm guessing I probably should. I worry she will see that as an empty threat to try to get her to commit to us. I don't know if it's better to let her know exactly how I feel, ever if she doesn't believe it, or have peace of mind that I know what I will do if she decides to leave. Any thoughts? The other thing I forgot to mention is that her doctor gave her an RX for an antidepressant that she is going to start taking this weekend. That's the other thing that makes me want to wait to tell her exactly what's going on in my head. She hasn't told me much about the affair. She says it was going on for a month before I found out. I don't know if I believe her. She insists there was no Pia, that's all I know. Limbo does suck. I've lost 21 pounds for 2 months ago. I understand at this point that she is probably just giving me crap until she can make up her mind on what she wants. I am doing the 180. I'm still so confused. We had a good weekend together. We spent some time together and generally had a good time. We sat and talked for an hour on Friday night. Not really about us, but about friends and thoughts and the like. We haven't done that in a while. I just don't know where to go from here. I really need her to tell me how she wants to move forward. I'm just afraid to ask. She's told me in the past that she doesn't like to be pressured into making decisions. She's been fence-sitting for about a year now. I can't take it anymore. One part of me wants to put my foot down and demand an answer. The other part is seeing that she has been trying the things our MC has laid out for us and seems to be making progress. I'm afraid pressuring her will make her close up emotionally again. The more I think about it, the more uncertain I get. I'd love some advice right about now. I'm not afraid of her. I'm afraid that if I take a hardline stance now, 1 month after D-Day, we will lose the progress we've already made. I wish I would have thrown her out when I first found out about the EA, but I didn't. She hasn't told me I want to fix things when we talk about it. She goes back to the point that a part of her wants to know what it's like to be on her own and date. She says she doesn't want to commit to me 100% while she has these feelings. But on the other hand, she's willing to go to see the MC, and I can see her doing things, like opening up and communicating. That makes me think she's starting to try. I'm worried changing my tune now, even though I want to, will kill any progress being made. We talked last night and I reiterated how upset I was about the EA. She had a rude response. You don't think I know I hurt you? She changed the subject. She only wants to talk about the things that got us here. Tonight is the night. I'm going to tell her I need an answer. I was going to wait to drop the D-bomb until she told me she wants to leave, but I don't think I can. She really has 2 options. Commit to fixing things with me or leave, and I file for D. I'm in pain just thinking about doing this, but it has to be done. I can't live like this anymore. I deserve much better. Well, I told her. I started by asking her where she was at in her head right now. She said her mind still goes back and forth. One day she wants to stay and work things out. The next she wants to go. I told her that this has been going on for over a year now and it's time to make a decision. Before I could finish the sentence, she interrupted and said, I know, or you're going to make it for me. I politely said no, this is a decision you have to make. Either you commit 100% of your energy to try to fix this marriage or you choose to be on your own. I told her I didn't want her to leave, but I couldn't stop her. I told her that I needed to be truthful with her and that if she chose to leave, I would file for D immediately. She was stunned. She started to tear up but just shook her head and told me she understood. I told her I've been tortured enough and I would not sit at home with the kids and wonder when or if she was coming home. I know that would be hell for me. I guess we will see what happens. She seemed cheery and gave me a little hug as she left for work this morning. I feel so much better. I just want to end the feelings I've had for the past year. What a rough day so far. My emotions are all over the place. It's so hard to wait for her decision. I've been trying to prepare myself for the worst. It's so hard to comprehend that losing her is probably the best thing for me. But I deserve way better than this. I know I'm doing it to myself. Had a bad day yesterday. Got home from work and had a great night with the family. It makes it so much harder to let her go. I am hurt that she cheated. I am hurt that she seems like she doesn't know what she wants right now. When I'm away from her, I have all the confidence in the world that I can move on without her, and I deserve much better. But seeing her smile and laugh gives me a glimmer of hope that she will snap out of this fog she's in. I think I'm going to start going to IC. I'm at the point that I'm having problems doing my job. I read on here all day to try to make myself feel better instead of working. My mind is a traffic jam of a million thoughts. I need to try to get my head straight. She does work full time. She doesn't make enough to support having her own place, but she has a mom and dad that will gladly give her a free place to stay for as long as she wants. She is very close to her parents, and it would not bother her to live there one bit. It would be just as convenient for her to live there as it would to stay home. It's closer to her work, and she would have full-time babysitters at her disposal. That's why I don't just want to throw her out. Her life will be easier living with her parents. Her parents are some of our best friends. We actually lived there for a few months in between moving out of our apartment and buying the house we're in now. I spend a ton of time with her father doing various things, and she spends a ton of time with her mom and sister, going shopping and going out to lunch and things like that. We all have been very close from the time I met my wife. It would not bother her at all living there again. There are not really any rules to abide by, just common courtesy and doing your part around the house. I'm sure they wouldn't be happy about the situation. They would probably show some tough love, but they would make it as easy as possible for her. I know my wife has asked her mom if she could move back and if need be, and they said yes. I'm 99% sure she has not told her mom about the E. She is very afraid of people finding out about it. She's told me so. Some of my guy friends have mutual friends with some of her friends, and she does not want anyone to find out. She is really worried my buddies are going to tell people, and it will make it back to people she knows. I know some people on here will tell me to shout it from the rooftops, but that's not my style. On another note, I realized something interesting while lying in my car on my lunch break. I was thinking about the conversations we've had the past few weeks and found a pattern. She mentioned on more than one occasion when talking about our past and future social life, one of her problems with me in the past, that she wanted me to make more plans. That might not sound significant to you guys, but in the context of the conversation, I told her if she wanted to do more different things, I was up for it. Just let me know what you want to do. She then said, you can make plans too. I'm starting to wonder if she is waiting for me to take the reins and do something. I'm wondering if she wants me to show her that I want to meet new people and do different things before she commits to fixing things. I'm not saying that is the right approach, but my lack of social life the past few years has been a big issue for her. She is a very outgoing person. I was earlier in our relationship, but as we settled down, I no longer felt the need to do a lot of different things. I think I have become too beta in our marriage. That's not who I was when we were dating and first got married. I still do have some alpha traits, but I haven't been showing them in fear of upsetting her. I've been trying to be more caring and understanding since we started having problems. It makes sense. She gets pissed off at me when I cry. I don't cry all that often, but she really gets mad at me when I do. She is always asking me to make decisions, and since we've been having problems, I always respond, it doesn't matter, whatever you want. She always looks to me for answers, and I've been passing the buck back to her. Let her make the decision, thinking it would make her feel better. It's official, I've become a wuss. Every male she looks up to and is friendly with is more alpha than beta. I'm such an idiot. A quick update. After realizing how much of an idiot I've been for the last year, I've been trying hard to bring out more of my alpha traits. I'm working on being more decisive and being my happier self. I feel great. Between manning up and doing a modified 180, I'm starting to feel like the confident guy I used to be. I can't even begin to explain to you guys how much better I feel about myself. I also started working out again. Now I just need to quit smoking. Home life has been okay for the past few days. We sort of kept to ourselves over the weekend, but any communication we had was in a positive manner. I told her that I was taking over doing the household finances. She agreed, even though she seemed a bit insulted. We didn't talk about or plan anything for V-Day. I didn't get her anything, not even a card. Got home from work last night and she cooked one of my favorite meals for dinner, and she had the kids make me a card. She even chilled a bottle of wine and poured us a few glasses. She's not a wine drinker. Her and the kids went to bed rather early, and I celebrated my newfound attitude with a few beers. It was nice that she did what she did. I appreciated it. My main priority is still working on myself and being the best dad I can be for my kids. It is nice though to see her trying harder all around. Months later, my wife moved out over the weekend after declaring she wants a separation. I guess I'll start with the Cliffs. We married at 21 after dating since we were 16 and had 2 kids shortly after. Had our ups and downs and didn't properly deal with little things that bothered us about the other. We were terrible at communicating our feelings. I slowly became more beta as time went on. She slowly checked out. Roughly 2 years ago I got the ILYBINILWY speech and I became an even bigger beta loser. Bonding pretty much stopped at that point. I thought I needed to try harder to make her happy. I found out about the EA 3 days before this past Christmas. We started MC shortly after. I lost 40 pounds in the past 6 months. Over the past few months of MC, she has given many reasons why a separation was a good idea. She kept telling me that lots of couples get separated for a while then get back together. She talked about it as it was no big deal. I was and still am against it. She told me she needed to know what it was like to be on her own. I don't see how being 31 living with your parents is being on your own, but I digress. She tells me that a part of her wants to know what it's like to be single. She also says she needs the time apart to be able to miss me so she can try to love me again. She never talks divorce, but just says she's not in love with me. It's strange because we actually get along pretty good, we hardly fight and home life together seemed good. She disagrees and says that she's been living a lie. I reacted pretty badly when she told me she was leaving. My initial reaction was getting really pissed off. One of the traits she doesn't like about me is my temper. I told her to pack her crap and leave and couldn't believe she was splitting up our family without trying to fix the marriage first. In my opinion, she has put zero effort into it. She disagrees and says that she has been trying. We agreed to a schedule for having the kids. I got a new bank account and all her stuff is gone. Now what? I'm really upset she is gone. I still love her dearly. I know I should try to move on and live my life, but I'm having a really hard time letting go. My comment: she wants separation but doesn't want divorce. In other words, she'll be dating, screwing others, but will keep you as the backup plan. Since nothing worked so far, having her served with divorce papers at work might be her last wake-up call. In the meantime, stop funding, supporting her in any way, shape, or form. OP responds: there is no financial support. She has a job and now has no bills. I have the kids at home more than she has them at her parents'. She actually offered to give me money for the house, which I wasn't expecting. We have not talked about boundaries yet. I've been sticking with the NC since she left. I do agree they are important. Part of our problem in the past has been that she sees me as controlling or father-like to her sometimes. Should I email her and make it clear what my boundaries are? Or do I just live my life by them? I understand that I don't owe her an explanation on anything, but I sort of want to know where we stand. On a side note, what a crappy morning. Dropped the girls off for the first time knowing I won't be seeing them for 2 days. The oldest was really upset and doesn't understand why this is all happening. She is 8. It absolutely breaks my heart to see them this upset. Every time they cry it makes me hate my wife more and more. I hope she's happy living with mommy and daddy while our family suffers. The reason for me wanting to state the boundaries is more on principle than anything else. I understand I can't make her follow them. My concern is that when I was pissed off after she told me she was leaving, I took my ring off and gave it back to her, which I regret doing. My fear is that by me doing that, she assumes I never want to R, which I have never said. I hate that I overreact when I'm seeing red. I get so mad at myself when I look back at every situation I handled badly, and there are lots of them. Well, I decided to send her a short email. I really needed to get it off my chest. This is what I wrote. A lot of things were said and done last week that might have sent the wrong message. It's important to me to make clear that I will not be seeing, dating, or screwing around through this separation. My marriage vows are still important to me. She replied, okay, I understand. Not sure if I should have sent it, but I feel better having done so. Today has been the worst day so far since she left. Off work, no kids and an empty house. A lot of tears this morning. I usually can't sit still for very long, but today I can't find the strength to do anything. I've never felt like this before. The email was sort of a continuation to our conversations last week before she left. She knows I love her. I've told her already that I was moving on and going to do my own thing. I just wanted her to understand that by moving on I didn't mean banging other people. I meant what I wrote. My marriage vows are important to me as long as I'm married. Obviously, they don't mean as much to her, but at least I will know through this that I have kept my integrity. I didn't want to write a long gushy email. I figured keeping it short and to the point was the best option. Man, yesterday sucked. It was her birthday and I guess that was a trigger for me. I've never felt so miserable for so long. I'm a very active guy and I found myself unable to get off the couch. No TV, no music, just reading in silence and napped. Hearing all the fireworks was the worst. We always go as a family. I could only imagine my kids having a great time with their mom without me. This coming weekend is her actual party and her family is surprised that I'm not coming. Really, I've always been really close with her family, but seriously. Her mom kept texting me last night that I should come, I'm still part of the family and so on. I finally sort of blew up and rudely to her I won't be there because I hate my wife for what she is doing to the kids and I don't want to see her face. Probably the wrong way to handle it, but I was in no mood yesterday. The good news is I feel a lot better today. I have the kids the next few nights so I'm excited. I got to admit though, it's really tough running the house solo. Pick up the kids, cook dinner, do dishes, baths, laundry and so on. Oh well, I wouldn't trade my time with them for the world. A little update. I've been feeling really good the past few days. I bought a copy of Divorce Remedy and read it cover to cover. It really helped reinforce all the advice I've been getting here. I'm in a strange state of mind right now. Now that she's gone a little over a week, I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I feel like I can live again. The past year has been nothing but worrying about what might happen to my marriage. I don't think I ever realized how mentally taxing that was. Now don't get me wrong, I still love her and miss her, but I definitely don't miss the drama, sadness and general BS associated with the whole situation. I hope this feeling lasts. Today is also day 1 of quitting smoking. The week after she left, I was smoking over 2 packs a day. I had quit smoking around 5 years ago and started again when I found out about her. I don't want to do it anymore. With all the money I will save, I can go out more, buy new clothes and get my classic car back on the road. That should keep me busy for a few weeks. On the separation front, since I started to be happy and upbeat in our limited contact, she seems to want to talk to me more. Our kids call the parent they aren't staying with that night to say goodnight, and she always asks to talk to me. I also see her on the mornings I drop the kids off at daycare. She works there, and she has been more friendly. I'm not trying to read too much into it, but it's definitely a change from last week. Don't worry, I'm not getting my hopes up, just making observations. And what I really want to tell her, you have no idea how unbelievably pissed I am that you walked out without giving our marriage a chance. Sure, you agreed to go to MC, but your mind was already made up. You gave us no chance from the beginning. Nothing but a separation would do. You say you tried to work on things. By work on things, I assume you mean withdrawing emotionally, keeping a stranglehold on resentment, and having an EA with that loser. I really hope your divorced 40 garbage friends are proud of you for being your own woman and living your own life, because nobody else is. By comment, you have stopped pursuing her. She's wondering what the heck is going on. You have given her the gift of missing you. Walk out and don't look back.